Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Erin of Juniper and Oaks. I am a crochet designer. I love to use interesting stitches like this to crochet along really fun home decor items with you. And I'm really excited to get started with this one. This is the Cozy Alpine stocking, and we are going to be crocheting this along together. So this is day one of the Cozy Alpine stocking crochet along. Today I'm going to be showing you how to crochet the toe. Then tomorrow we'll do the body. The next day we'll do this cuff. And then finally we'll do the heel and also show you how to do the embellishment right here on the top. I'm really excited to get started with you. If you want to know more information about this cowl, go ahead and watch this video here. I've also linked it below. And also, please go to the blog post that's linked here. That's where you will get the written instructions for this crochet along. If you would rather have printable version of the instructions, you can buy the pattern on Ravelry. Day by day, I will be adding each section to that pattern so you can print it off and or just have it ad-free on your computer. So let's get started. We are going to be starting the toe. If you're not aware already, we will be using worsted weight yarn in 2 colors, and this is 100% acrylic yarn. It's actually called Wander Acrylic Yarn from Frills Crochet. They gave me this yarn for the stocking pattern. My 2 colors are Meadow and Patina for my lighter color. My color A is going to be Patina, this light color. My color B, or like the body of the work, is going to be this darker color that's called Meadow. In my red and white example, the white is color A and the body is color B. The red is color B in the body, okay? So you will need about 120 yards of color A and 185 yards of color B. Then for the hook, I'm using a size H, a 5mm hook. This Frills gave for this stocking as well. I love, love, love this emerald and nickel Odyssey hook. It feels good in my hands. The yarn slides really easily on this nickel. And just look at that. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful for Christmas. Okay, they're not paying me to say this, but they did give it to me. So I just love it. A couple things to note for part 1, the toe of this cowl, is we're just going to be working single crochets in the round. At the end of each round, we are not going to join with a slip stitch, and we're not going to turn. We're just going to keep on crocheting on top of the next. I am really excited to get started. So I'm going to put this aside and find the end of my color A here. Okay, to start the toe, we will work up a magic circle. I have a tutorial for a magic circle I can include here as well, but I know there are a million other tutorials in case you can't find it. Okay, create a magic circle. Then we're going to do 6 single crochets inside that magic circle. This is US terms, a single crochet. 6 single crochets inside this magic circle. 4, 5, excuse me, I split that, and 1 more. I just love a magic circle, because once you've done all 6, you just pull that tight. Okay, so we've done our 6 single crochets, and that was round 1. Now we're ready for round 2. I'm not going to slip stitch to join. Instead, I'm just going to keep on going around. So here is the first stitch of round 1, and that's where I'm going to work 2 single crochets in that first stitch. So 1 single crochet and 2 single crochet. Now in every stitch around, we're going to work 2 single crochets. So we're going to do that 5 more times, making sure we keep count. If you need to, place a stitch marker in that first stitch so you know where your 12 stitches end. 2, this is 3, 4. Remember, we're working 2 single crochets in each stitch. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that is round 2. Round 3, we're going to work 2 single crochets in the first stitch, and then in the next stitch, just 1 single crochet. Then in 2 in the next, 1 in the next, 2 in the next, 1 in the next, all the way around. So we're increasing every other. At the end of this round, we will have 18 stitches. So here we go with round 3. 1, 2 stitches in the first stitch, 1 in the next. That's 3 stitches. I do it like this. So I did 3. This is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is the single. So every third one is just a single. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17, 18, and 19. Oops. 15, 16, 17. Oh, goodness gracious, I can't count. 18. 16, 17, 18. Okay, just to make sure I'm going to count around. Sorry about that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I just miscounted those last ones, but I was doing it right with my hands, just not with my mouth. Okay, so we're ready for round 4. Round 4 is 2 single crochets in the first stitch, and then the next 2 stitches are just 1 single crochet. So 2 in the first, then single, single, then 2, then single, single, 2, single, single, all the way around. So we are increasing by 6 stitches again, and at the end of this round we have 24. Okay, in the first stitch, 2 single crochets, 1, 2, and then 1 in the next, and 1 in the next. So that's 4. 2 singles, 5, 6, then 7 and 8 are each in their own stitch. Then 9 and 10 are together. 9, 10, 11, 12 are by themselves. 13, 14 are together. 15 and 16 are in separate stitches. 17, 18 are together. 19, 20 are by themselves. 21, 22 are together. Oops, sorry. 21, this is 22, and then 23 and 24 are by themselves. 24. Now for round 5. Round 5, we're going to work very similarly. We're going to do 2 single crochets in the first and then single crochet in the next 3 stitches. So in the first, so we're increasing by 6 stitches once again, and at the end of this round we will have 30 stitches. Okay, so 1, 2 are together, and the next 3 are in separate stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is working 5s. Okay, then 6, 7 are together. 8, 9, 10. 11 and 12 are together. 12 and 13, 14, 15 are by themselves. 13, 14, 15. Then 16 and 17 are together. 18, 19, 20 are by themselves. 18, 19, 20. 21 and 22 are together. And 23, 24, 25 are by themselves. 25. And the next 2 are together. And the last 3 are by themselves. And then we have 30 stitches. 3. Now we are ready for round 6. Round 6 will increase by 6 stitches once again, and in the end we'll have 36 stitches. This time we do 2 singles in one and 4 in the next. Well, 2 single crochets in one and then 1 in the next 4 stitches. And we'll continue in that manner. So 1, 2 are together, then the next 4 are in separate stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7 and 8 are in the same stitch. 9, 10, 11, 12. With each row, I know 12 is divisible by 6. So when I get to 12, I know the next stitch should be I'm increasing. Okay. 13, 14. Now 15, 16, 17, 18 is divisible by 6. So the next one we will do 2 and 1. 19, 20. Then 21 is in its own stitch. 22 is in its own stitch. 23 and 24 are in their own stitches. 24 is divisible by 6. So the next stitch I'm going to go 25, 26. Then in their own is 27, 28, 29, and 30. Then 31 and 32 are together. 2 and 1. Then at last 33, 34, 35, and 36 are in their own stitches. We're going to do 2 more increase rounds. Round 7 and 8 we will continue to increase so that round 7 we will do 2 in the first stitch, and then in the next 5 is just a single crochet. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If the numbers are divisible by 7, then the next stitch is the 2. That's how I do it. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 2, the same, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 is divisible by 7. So the next one is 22 and 23 are worked together in the same stitch. So we do our increase. 24, 25, 26, 27, 28 is divisible by 7. So the next one is together. So 29 and 30 are in the same stitch. 31, 32, 33, 34, 35 is another multiple of 7. So this one will be 2, the same. So 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, and 42 is our last stitch of round 7. 42 is divisible by 7. Now round 8, we're going to do the same, similar. We're adding another increase, so every the first stitch is going to be single crochet in the first stitch, and then single crochet in the next 6 stitches. Okay, and all these numbers are going to be divisible or be multiples of 8. So we'll start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so then the next 2 are together, 9 and 10. Then the next 6 are by themselves, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I'm just counting. Here I am just counting. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Sorry about that. Okay, so that's 16, 17, and 18 are in the same stitch. Okay, 15, 18 are in the same stitch. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24, those are all in their own stitches. 24 is a multiple of 8. So let's do 2. These are the next one. 25 and 26 are together. And the next 6 are by themselves. 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, all by themselves. 33 and 34 are together. 3, 34. Then the next 6 by themselves. 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, and 40. And then once again, we're going to do this one last time. 2 in the next, and then the next 6 are singles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 48 stitches in that round. Now that I've finished round 8, I'm not going to be doing any more increases. So I'm going to add a stitch marker that easily marks our spot, so we know where we are. So that is to mark that as the end of round 8. or the beginning of round 9. For rounds 9 through 12, we're just going to be doing a single stitch all the way around. Single crochet stitch in every stitch all the way around for rows 9, 10, 11, and 12. So for the next 4 rows, 4 rounds, I'm going to be doing single crochet in every stitch around. So each of those rounds just has 48 stitches. So nothing special, just 1 single crochet in every stitch around. We do not chain 1, we do not turn, and we do not do a slip stitch at the end of each round. We just do a single crochet in every single stitch. So we'll just be going round and around and around for the next 4 rounds. I just wanted to show you that you can just crochet kind of along around that stitch marker. It shouldn't get in your way, and that just marks. Okay, we've done 1 row since our stitch marker, so we know that's round 9. Now we're ready to start round 10. We just keep on going around. I will show you what it looks like after I finished all 12 rounds. Okay, I finished. You see I have 1, 2, 3, 4 rows above that stitch marker. And if we count them here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 rounds. And that, my friends, is the toe. If you've done it in white, here's that. And let's see, did I get my tension was a little tighter, or this yarn is a little bit thicker than that. That's okay. This is going to be a little bit smaller than my bigger stocking here. No problem whatsoever. If you would rather, you could follow gauge. I did not. That's okay. So I'm going to take this off. We are going to be using the Alpine stitch technique. It says the Alpine worked in the round. Now, a lot of times when I've worked the Alpine stitch, I've worked it flat. And what you do is you work the Alpine stitch this way, and then on the way back, you do like a row of single crochet stitches, and then you go back and do the Alpine stitch that way. When I work on the round, I'm just doing the Alpine stitch all the way around. So that is a double crochet, then a front post double crochet, then a double crochet, and a front post double crochet. This is US terms. So that's what the Alpine stitch is. Each of the double crochets will be worked on top of a front post double crochet, and then the front post double crochets will be worked around the double crochets from the rows previous. I will show you how to do that. Round 1 will be a little bit different. It's just double crochet all the way around. There'll be a funky part here when we get to the heel. We'll have to work some chain stitches, and that will just be a little bit different. And then work the Alpine stitch again all the way till we get to the top where we're going to work the cuff. I'll show you the first couple rounds of the Alpine stitch here, and then I'll let you work by yourselves, and then when we get to the heel, I'll pop back on and let you and teach you how to leave the space for the heel, and then we'll start and I'll show you how to do these next rows after that, and then I'll leave you by yourself in order to finish it up. We have our toe here. We've done 12 rounds using color A. Now for the second section, to do the body, we are switching to color B. In here, I'm just using a darker color. Okay, let's grab a hold of our color B. I'm just going to drop the end to the back side, loop around and pull that through here. Okay, and then I'm going to chain 2 to start out with round 13. Make sure our ends are secure. If you would like, you can tie these together just to make sure it's secure on the inside. So I've chained 2, and that's if your chains are a little bit loose, you may want to just go down like so. So I've done that chain just to give me a little bit of elevation, and now what I'm going to do is in every stitch, including that first stitch, we work a double crochet. I'm going to work double crochet in every stitch around. We're not doing any increases, we're just working 1 double crochet in every stitch around. In case you've forgotten, we are using US terms here, so a double crochet in US terms. And at the end of this row, we will have 48 double crochet stitches. Okay, here I am at the end of that first round of the second part. It's around 13. I just wanted to show you. I have 47 stitches, and the 48th stitch is right here. Okay, that first chain 2 did not count as a stitch, so you want to work the 48th stitch there, and at the end of round 13 we are going to slip stitch to join. And now here's where we're going to start the Alpine stitch. So exciting. I'm going to start by doing a chain 1, and then around that first stitch here we're going to do a front post double crochet. Okay, so I yarned over, we go to the back, around in the front, and you grab that. So the post is in the front post. We do a double crochet. Work up your double crochet just as normal. And then in the next stitch, work a single crochet stitch. Nope, sorry. The next stitch, work a double crochet. Then in the next stitch, do a front post double crochet. Then a double over the next front post double, and we're going to do that all the way around. So in the end you will have half and half, 24 double crochets and 24 front post double crochets. Here we are at the end of round 14. I have done my last double crochet here. Now I'm going to do a slip stitch. See that first front post double crochet of the round. I'm going to slip stitch to join. Now round 15 will be very similar to round 14, except we're just going to reverse the stitches a bit. So chain 1 to start, and then in this very first stitch we'll do a double crochet, and then here in the next stitch, that's a double crochet, we're going to work a front post double, then double crochet to the top of that front post, then a front post double crochet around that double crochet. Okay, so double crochet, and then front post double crochet, double crochet, and ending with front post double crochet. Okay, and we just work that all the way around round 15. Round 15 ends with a front post double crochet, and then we slip stitch to that first stitch to join. Okay, now rounds 16 through 29 are all going to be just a repeat of rounds 14 and 15. So where we do a chain 1 in round 14 is that front post double crochet around that first stitch, and then a double crochet in the next stitch. And we work that up through rounds 29. And then round 30 we'll start the heel. Okay, so work that up, keep track of your rounds, and when we get to round 30, I will meet back up with you to talk about leaving that opening for the heel. Okay, I've just done the slip stitch at the end of round 29. So we're ready to start round 30. And 30 is where we leave the little gap for the heel. So round 30, we're going to start with a chain 1 like we have been. And in the first stitch, do a front post double crochet. And in the next stitch, we're going to do a regular double crochet. We're just going to keep on doing that, just like we've been doing. We're going to do it 9 times. Okay, we're going to do it 9 more times. Okay, so front post double crochet, front post double crochet, front post double crochet, double crochet. So really at the end of this, we're going to have 20 stitches. $18, $19, and okay, so 20. After those 20 stitches, we're going to chain 24. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Okay, then we're going to skip 24 stitches down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. And we're going to be left with 1, 2, 3, 4 at the end. Okay, so we skip 24 stitches, and then, let's see, around this stitch here, so the 24th stitch, that's that front post here. Here's just a regular double crochet. We're going to work a front post double crochet around that stitch. Okay, and then we're going to work a double crochet and a front post double crochet, and then finally a double crochet. So you know how the math works out is we did 20 stitches, then we did 24 chains, and we skipped 24, and we did 4 stitches at the end. So 24 plus 24 is 48. And we slip stitch that first stitch to join. Okay, and then what we're left with is kind of this hole right here. You see that? So the next round, round 31, we're going to be working around and using the chain to work around it. and we'll leave this hole here for the heel. So for round 31, we're going to chain 1, and we're going to work similarly to how we did it before, except in reverse. So in the first stitch, we do a double crochet, and then in the next stitch, we do a front post double crochet, and then we repeat that, right? So we'll have 20 stitches. A half of them are front post double crochet, the other half are just regular double crochet. And we started with the double crochet in the first stitch. Okay, so you work that up basically until we get to that chain 24 we just made. Okay, then a front post double crochet around that stitch. Now we have 24 chain 1s, and okay, and we are going to work, I didn't get it twisted, but then we're going to work a double crochet in each of those chains. Okay, so there's the first chain here, work a double crochet. Okay, and then each of these 24 chains, we just work a double crochet. Okay, I want to make sure that we have 24. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So we need one more. Yes, it's right here. 24. Okay, after you've done the double crochets, we're going to work the same like Alpine stitch as before. So in the first stitch, I think it kind of got wrapped around here, but in that first stitch we do a double crochet, then a front post double crochet around that stitch, then a double crochet, and a front post double crochet. Then we slip stitch to join. Okay, and so that is how we leave a space for the heel. And now we're just going to be working basically for the rest here. We are going to be working just the Alpine stitch similarly to how we've been doing it through round 44. And round 46 starts the cuff. Since it's a little bit different right here with our double crochets, I will walk you through this next round, round 32. And for that round, this first stitch, after we've done our chain 1, we do a front post double crochet, double crochet, front post double crochet, double crochet, we did a double crochet above that last front post, and now here at the heel, this starts with double crochet, double, 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 double all the way around. But for this round 32, we did a double. Now we're going to do a front post double crochet. And we're just going to continue with our pattern, even though it's at the heel and maybe it's going to freak you out a little bit. Don't be freaked out. Just continue doing our Alpine stitch sequence all the way around. Okay, finishing up round 32, I just got to the end of my heel and you see that the stitches continue to line up because here's a double crochet. That's what I'm doing with my front post double crochet. Double, front post, and then finishing it off with a regular double. Round 33, slip stitch. Round 33, we start out with a double crochet in that first stitch. But other than that, it's just the same. We're just working the Alpine stitch in the round. So continue repeating those 2 rounds over and over again in until you finish with round 45. So you're just repeating rounds 32 and 33, which are just very similar to rounds 14 and 15. You just repeat those again and again through round 45. I'll meet you at the end of round 45. Okay, we're at the end of the second section. This is the end of round 45. We have our body finished. We've got our toe, we've got the lower part. Here's the hole for the heel and the top part of the stocking. I hope that you understood the instructions for the Cozy Alpine stitch pattern. I just love this texture. It is just so beautiful, and I think it's just warm and cozy for a Christmas stocking. Let me know if you have any questions about this section. Leave a comment below. I would really love to know what color you are making your stocking up in. Okay, to start round 46, the cuff, take our color A, and we're just going to join. I like to drop both the ends to the back. And then what we're going to do is work single crochet in every stitch all the way around. So here's our first stitch. We work a single crochet, and then in the next stitch just a single crochet, and we're going to do that all the way around. One single crochet. Remember, this is US terms. One single crochet all the way around for round 46. When we get to the end of round 46, we are not going to slip stitch to join, we're not going to chain 1, we're not going to turn, we're just going to work at the top of that first stitch and just continue working around. If you want, I still need to cut my other end there, but you may want to secure your ends together so they don't come loose. And perhaps in that first stitch, you'll want to place a stitch marker so that in subsequent rows, you will know where your first stitch is. I don't typically use stitch markers, but I know many people like to use them. So there's a little tip for you. We're working a single crochet in every stitch all the way around. Then I'm showing you what to do once we get to the beginning of the round. Okay, we are getting back to the start of our round. And that was our last stitch right there. So now we are ready to start round 47. Round 47, in this first stitch, right here marked with our stitch marker, that is where we're going to do just the first stitch, a single crochet, and then we're doing a single crochet all the way around. So we're starting round 47. Continue in the same manner as we did 46 for 10 more rows. So we're going to do rounds 46 through 56 are just single crochet in each stitch all the way around in just this similar manner, where we're not joining with a slip stitch, we're not chaining one, we're not turning at the end of each round. We are simply just continuing on around, round and around and around until we are ready to start round 57. So go through round 56 and I will meet you there to start round 57. Here we have up to round 56. I have done round 56 here, just single crochet all the way around. And now for this next part, we're going to work very similarly, but right over here, once we get to this section right here, we're going to be creating a little loop here for your stocking to hang on a hook. So for this round, you're going to work into the first stitch and then the next 27 stitches. So 1, 2, just a single crochet in every stitch. 3, 6, 27. So that 27, that's stitch 27 plus the first stitches, so that's 28. 28 stitches. Then I'm going to take my stitch marker here and, oh, don't snag the yarn. And I'm going to place it here. I guess this isn't the best stitch marker in the world, but it's cute. It's a little acorn. Got that from my knit crate box a few months ago. Okay, so we place the stitch marker, and now we're going to do 12 foundation single crochets. So to do a foundation single crochet, we're going to chain 2, and then in that first chain, we're going to kind of do, in the first chain we're going to insert our hook, pull through the yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, so that is our first foundation single crochet. Now the next stitch we're going to be working into this area under here. You'll see there's a V down here. Let's work into those 2 loops of that V. Pull up a loop. So now we have 2 loops on our hook. Yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, and now here, ooh, I got a little funky thing going on with my yarn here. Don't ignore it. I'll show you again where that is. Here is the loop with our hook. And you have those 2 bits. Right here, you'll find your 2 loops for your V. You're going to pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2. So that's 2. Can't really see what's going on with the second one because of my funky yarn. So go through, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2. So that's 3 foundation single crochets. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 1, pull through 2. Okay, insert your hook there, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2. So I've lost count here, but 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think. Doesn't matter. So we're going to do 12. Okay, once you've done your 12 foundation single crochets, you're going to slip stitch into that last single crochet that you did. It should have your stitch marker in it. So you're just going to do a slip stitch to that stitch, and then in the next 20 stitches, it should be, you should do a single crochet in each stitch. So single crochet until you get back to the beginning of the row. Okay, and then you have on this side this nice loop for you to hang. You can choose if you want to make your loop bigger or smaller by increasing or decreasing the amount of foundation single crochets. Okay, so now we are ready for round 58. In round 58, I have a special note here. We're going to be turning our work in round 58, and the stitches are going to be able to lay with the right side showing once it's folded down. And then we're working in the back loop only here to make it a ridge, so it's easier to fold down. See, does that make sense? So where we are is we're here. This would be the wrong side of your work. We're going to be folding it down. So we're going to turn our work here so that the right side will still face out. And then we're going to work in the back loop only so that we have this nice ridge that we know right where we're going to fold it. And that will make sense here as we get started. Okay, I think I made an extra stitch there. All right, so for round 58, you're going to chain 1 and turn your work just like I talked about. We're going to do double crochets now, and we're going to do a back loop only, double crochet all the way around. So if we're looking at the top of our stitches here, Here's our front loop and there's our back loop. We're looking at these V's here on the top. So here is the back loop back here of this first stitch. So we're going to do a double crochet in that back loop only. So just grab that back loop and do a double crochet. So US terms, remember. So we're going to do that in every stitch all the way around, but we will be skipping our loop we just made. We're going to skip all of those foundation single crochets. But we will work back loop only, double crochet in all the other stitches besides. These double crochet stitches, I'll show you. This is the basis for our weaving in and out for this special little embellishment here. Okay, here's where it kind of gets a little complicated, but I believe that miss there is from the loop, and we're gonna just find that stitch here and work our back loop only double crochet. So we skipped over that loop and we're working your back loop only double crochets all the way around. So continue working around. You'll have 48 back loop only double crochets. And then we're gonna slip stitch to join once we reach the other side. Okay, here we are at the end of round 58. And I'm gonna go at the top of that first stitch, slip stitch to join. Now we're just going to continue working around in the direction we had been going with round 58. We're not going to turn back. We're just going to keep on keeping on. And in this very first stitch here, we're going to do a single crochet. And in every stitch around, we're going to do a single crochet. And we're going through both loops, just single crochet through every stitch all the way around. All of those double crochet stitches we just made, we're going to work a single crochet stitch on top of them. When we get to the end of the round, we're not going to slip stitch, we're not going to turn, we are just going to continue working in the round like we had been with this earlier part of the cuff. And we're going to work that way for the rest. We're going to work that way for the rest of the cuff. So this is round 59. And we're going to work through round 71. 71 is the last round of the cuff. So I will meet you at the end of round 71. Just we're working a single crochet in each stitch around. And not turning, not slip stitching, not chain oneing at the end of each round. We're just continuing around. This is what it should look like at the end of round 71. We have just finished the cuff. So this is kind of the back side. You can see the seam a little bit right here. Once you are done with your last stitch, I would just make a slip stitch into the next one just to make your seam a little bit less gradual. Fasten off. And then you can weave in that end. So here we have it. We have 3 parts of the stocking finished. We have our heel, and the body with, sorry, we have the toe, the body, and then the hole for the heel, and we just finished the cuff. Here we have our hook, our loop that we can hang up on a hook, and here is our cuff. These double crochets, next time we will make a little embellishment to kind of weave in and out of that, and we will also work on the heel. You may notice that the cuff is a little bit longer than the inside here, and that is just because I don't really want it to be obvious. I just kind of wanted to hide that seam right there. So that is why the front part, the flap, is a little bit longer than the part underneath. If you don't like that, you can make it shorter to match. We are working up the heel. You see we have a hole left for our heel here. And then we're also going to add a bit of an embellishment here at the top. Here's another sample that I have of the stocking. Here's the heel, and then just a little string here for our embellishment. So let's go ahead and get started. If you're fairly new to crochet, or you've never worked a stocking before, or a sock or anything with a heel, you might want to grab a couple stitch markers for this part of the tutorial. Before we get ahead too far, I'm just going to ask, will you please subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you're notified when each section of this cowl is released, as well as any other yarn related video content that I come out with. I like to do stitch tutorials, pattern walkthroughs, I interview other designers, and just chit chat about what's going on in the crochet world. So I would love if you follow me, hit the little bell so you're notified of whenever anything comes out. Please give a thumbs up to this video and also comment on who you're making your stocking for. Is it for yourself? Is it for a grandbaby? Maybe a friend? Or a fur baby? Just let me know. I'm really interested in knowing what you've got going on. First things first is we're going to take each of our 2 stitch markers and put them into each corner of the heel. And by that I mean, you know, you have this like Pac-Man looking thing here, and in this joint, this corner right here, place a stitch marker. And then also on the other side, place another stitch marker. And this is going to help you when we do our decreases to make our heel. To start crocheting up the heel after you've placed your stitch marker, you can choose which corner you want to start with. I'm just going to start here on this back side because, hey, that's just where this seam is, so why not add that seam over there. I'm using my color A. You can choose whatever color you want. We're going to join that color A at one of the corners. So I'm going to go by this stitch marker here and join with a chain 1 right there. Now, the written instructions say work across the bottom, but just the way that I started here, looks like I'm going to be starting at the top, and that's okay. You're going to work a single crochet 2 together, which is essentially a decrease. So in that first stitch, I'm going to work a single crochet, but not quite finish it, and go to the next stitch and work a single crochet together. Then I'm going to single crochet in each of these stitches across the top, or if you're crocheting across the bottom, do that until there's 2 stitches left. 2 stitches remaining on the top or on the bottom if that's where you started. So in each of these stitches, I'm just working a single crochet, In each round, we will be working 4 single crochet, 2 together. We will be decreasing by 4 each round. Just giving you that heads up. So we have our stitch marker to the corner here. So we'll know that here I have 2 stitches left before I reach my stitch marker. So I'm going to work those together. So I insert my hook, pull up a loop, then I'm going to go into the next stitch, insert my hook, pull up a loop. Now I have 3 loops there, so I'm going to finish that off by pulling through all 3 of those loops. Okay, and now, but I'm going to do that 2 times because here we are at our stitch marker as well. So I'm going to insert my hook, pull up a loop, and then go to the next stitch. Insert my hook and pull up a loop, and then go through all 3 of those loops. Now I'm working across the bottom. You might be working across the top. Do a single crochet in each of those stitches all the way across until you have 2 stitches remaining. Okay, here's my stitch marker, and I have 2 stitches left before I reach that stitch marker. So I'm going to single crochet those 2 together. And that is the end of round 1 of the heel. I'm not going to do a slip stitch. I'm not going to join those anyway. What I'm going to do is just continue along and go to round 2. So for round 2, I'm going to find that first stitch, and in that first stitch and the second one, I'm going to work another decrease or single crochet 2 together. And then I'm going to work 1 single crochet in each stitch across until there are 2 stitches remaining. There's our stitch marker here, and we can see I got 2 stitches. I have, let's see, I'm going to do one more. I have 2 stitches remaining here, so I'm going to work these 2 single crochets together, and I'm going to do that twice. So once again, right here, single crochet 2 together, like so. Then across this other side, 1 single crochet per stitch until there's 2 stitches remaining, which we will decrease. Single crochet 2 together. And then here we are at the end. I'm going to single crochet those 2 together. And we're ready to start with round 3. Now we're going to work up rounds 3 through 9 just like we just did for round 2. Just repeat those rounds, decreasing by 4 stitches each round. At the end of round 9, we're going to fasten off and leave a long tail for sewing. So I'm going to show you that. But before I do, we're just going to finish up. And oops, this needs to be a decrease here. So go ahead and crochet up all 9 rounds. One thing I wanted to mention is I don't use stitch markers a whole lot. I like to place them occasionally, but then once I do, I just kind of leave them there unless I really need to move them. So if you would prefer, after each round, you can move your stitch marker to where you want to move it, like each round move it up so that it's easier to crochet the next round. I am not a terribly precise crocheter, so I just keep mine and I'm like, yep, lines up, looks good. But if you prefer to move yours so that each round you know exactly where to place your stitch, definitely go ahead and do that. Another tip that I have for you is when you're looking at the heel that you're crocheting up, you can tell where your last decreases were because you have one right here, one right here. If you don't know where to place your decrease on that round, start with one stitch before that first decrease and then work the second half of your decrease in that first decrease stitch, okay? Because then you go on here and you see here's your next decrease. So you work the first part of your decrease in that stitch and then the next one there. So if you're not into stitch markers, you can figure out where your decreases are by just looking at the stitches below and starting one before the decrease, the previous decrease, and working that stitch together with the decrease down below. Then your second one starts at the second decrease and then the stitch afterwards. Okay guys, this is the last single crochet 2 together that I'm going to do. And then I'm going to just fasten off, kind of like a slip stitch right there. And wherever I put my scissors, fasten off. And we're going to leave a long tail. So I want to give it a few inches because what we're going to do is, as you notice at the end of your 9th round, you still have a hole here. And if we were to just keep on going around like we've been doing, we kind of will just get a point right here. I don't know if we want a pointy stocking. So instead, I'm going to cut a long tail right here. And then I'm going to grab my darning needle. Okay, so secure your end here. Take your darning needle, your yarn needle, your weaving needle, whatever you want to say. And you're going to sew the opening close with this long yarn tail. What I like to do is just go in and out of these stitches. Each stitch around, I just go in and out all the way around. So I get about halfway through, I start pulling. And then we're going to pull the rest back closed. And then we have essentially sewn our opening closed. And then for extra security, I'll just go back and forth a little bit. Here, we just sew this opening closed. You know, if it was a normal sock, I would want this to feel a lot prettier and not have like a big lump on my heel. But this is a Christmas stocking, so you don't need to worry too much about that. You want it to look pretty for Christmas, definitely, but it doesn't have to be comfortable on your foot. And it also doesn't need to be the most secure thing, since it's just going to be hanging up and then hung by the chimney with care. Okay, then you can either weave in your end really well, or since it's the Christmas stocking, you can just weave it in a little bit and then, you know, leave your end inside. And I'll just trim that excess. Same with this right here. I'm going to weave it in a little bit. And then I'll just leave it inside the stocking. Okay, look at that, you guys. We just crocheted a stocking along together. We can take off our stitch markers. And then we can go ahead and hang it up by the chimney. Now that we've finished the stocking, we need to add our embellishment to the top. Now the embellishment will just be a simple chain. That's really quite easy. We're just going to chain a long chain and then weave it in and out of our double crochet stitches here. If you would rather, you can make an I-cord using something like a Lucette fort, or I know they have I-cord knitting machines out there as well. Honestly, I got this Lucette fort from Furls. It's very beautiful. I just haven't got a chance to learn how to use it yet. So we're just going to be working up chains for now. To crochet at my chain, I'm going to grab my color B once again. Nice contrasting color for that cuff. And just make a slip knot. Like I said, we're just going to crochet up a long chain. So let's just do that together. Just crochet up a long chain until it's big enough to wrap around your stocking, however long you want it to be. If you would rather, you could add pom-poms on there, you could add tassels, whatever you think would look great. For simplicity's sake, because I don't do too much with embellishments, we're just going to use a long chain or I-cord for a simple embellishment to our stocking. And make it just a little bit longer. Okay, here is it. Yep, and I think that's going to do us just fine. It's going to look really nice. Okay, so then I will fasten off here. Like so. I'm going to go ahead and attach one end through my needle. And starting here at our loop, working in the double crochet row. We're just going to go weave in and out of each of those double crochet stitches. If you need to, you can put your hand in between the cuff in order to separate those stitches. Okay, you can make your ends as even as you want, and then sort of just tie it like so. You can tie it in a secure knot. You can go ahead and add tassels or pom-poms to this cord for extra embellishment, or just leave it simple like that. Tell me what you think. What sort of embellishments did you add to your stocking? I would love to know. So cute. Thank you so much for following along. I really, really appreciate you joining in this crochet along and watching the video tutorials. What did you learn anything from this crochet along? Is there a technique that you're going to bring forward with you with your other crochet projects? If you crochet up this stocking, I would love to see pictures. Please tag me on Instagram at Juniper and Oaks and follow me along on there as well. I just love seeing what my community makes with the patterns that I publish and put out there in the world. Please subscribe to this channel for more YouTube tutorials, crochet alongs. I put up stitch tutorials. I also talk with other crochet designers about their patterns and what they're up to. So please go ahead, subscribe, hit that bell so you're notified when any of those yarn related content videos are published. Give this video a like, and please comment with what you're including as stocking stuffers in this stocking this year. Okay, thank you so much. I look forward to getting to know you a lot more as I do more crochet alongs in the future. Happy holidays!